Alright lads, welcome back again, and today I ask you fellas a question. Who doesn't love a great archer volley? In the medieval period, for more than 200 years, ranged units, and especially archers, helped to dominate the battlefield. From the Battle of Crecy to Agincourt and beyond, archers wielding longbows made a stunning impact in warfare, and in this series we'll step back into time, sally forth with an army comprised entirely of ranged units, and seek out glory across the lands of Calradia. Now we won't just be standing there trading volleys in this series, we'll explore the tactical opportunities these unique units provide for an experienced commander in Bannerlord seeking to win hugely outnumbered battles and learning savage new tricks to decimate our foes and send them to an early grave. In war, there are no rules, but in this episode we only have one rule: ranged units only in our army, and let's bring forth all challengers. Alright friends, welcome back again to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. This YouTube channel is dedicated to all things Bannerlord related, but especially advanced battlefield command and tactics. I can now say this so quickly you guys probably can't even understand it. That's my little tagline here. We are pursuing a sturgeon force here, but what I really want them to do is attack us, so that we can have some battle here with all archer army. And this continues this all archer series. You can see our entire army is made up of archers. Now you can ignore those top numbers where it says we have 5 infantry and 11 cav. I don't know why it says that. I think it's related to the skills of the companions that we have in the army, but I'm the only guy on horse, right? Nobody else in our entire army is on horse, and so you will see just all archers on the battlefield for this series. Now I'm trying to bait this sturgeon force here. I figure if I attack their castle right in front of them, there's a chance that they'll divert from sieging Saneopa to attack us. And unfortunately that's not the case. These dipshits want to siege, so let's see what our options are here. Well, here might be an option. This Batanian force, what the fuck are you guys doing here? This isn't even your castle. Well, this is what happens when you have war against the whole map. These guys fucking all gang up on you, even though we're sieging a fucking sturgeon castle. These guys want to attack. Look at the makeup of this Batanian force. This is highly, highly unusual and powerful. It's a really unusual army. 1,069 troops, and they have 80 archers and a massive amount of cav, but even more infantry. And look at the infantry, 108 wildlings. This is like an army after my own heart right here. Lots and lots of javelin throwers, but no archers. So this is going to be a highly unusual Batania versus an all archer army. But we're game for this, right? This is a perfect second battle for us in this series. Twice our number. It's out in the open, so their cav theoretically has an advantage, and I say that theoretically because anybody who's followed the channel knows that I believe that cavalry are just not what they should be in Bannerlord. Now we have our 7 units here, but I'm going to start shrinking this. As I play this series, I will probably be honing my strategy, and I learned from that first episode that you can't have too many units when all you have is archers. The first and second will still be used as distractionary squares, shield walls, and attacking units. You see, now there's enough shields to fill 100 guys in those divisions. In fact, there's overflow of shields into the 4th Corps. So the 4th Corps is working on being a defensive group as well. It'll be nice when I have 3 divisions that are fully capable of being defensive, because obviously the tactical opportunities increase dramatically. Now what we're going to try to do here, of course, with such a large sturgeon force is a kill box, right? They have a huge, or sturgeon force I called them, but Batanian force. It feels like a sturgeon force with so much infantry. You see I've got the banner bearer here for my 1st and 2nd division. Are designed to be essentially melee units, right? Increased melee damage. You wouldn't think that's beneficial, but we may use these units offensively. Now with so many cavalry coming against us here, and so few archers, it's actually likely we're gonna be doing a lot of kiting in this battle, a lot of distractionary forces. This 1st and 2nd division here, I'll have out front. These are crossbowmen to start the battle, and then our other archers forming a wide arc at the back, right? We will form a crane formation here and eventually shift it into a kill box where you have units wrapping around the enemy. So at least that's the plans, but you know what they say about best laid plans, right? Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. This is Mike Tyson. One of the famous Mike Tyson quotes. If you don't know who he is, if you're not a fan of boxing or something like that, he was basically one of the most lethal, unstoppable boxers for about 3 years. All right. Enemy's already bearing in here with tons of infantry, but it's not their infantry I'm worried about. I'm watching their cav. Where's their cav? Here's a huge line of cav up here, and what I'm going to be doing is either squaring or shield walling as these guys get attacked by cav. We'll see how aggressive the cav comes in. Of course, if they come in hyper aggressive, these guys will square right away. They're doing us a favor there by pulling back. That just allows these guys to shoot more as they're coming in. Right? You can see this infantry is getting pounded, trying to come in. They've got 2 cav wings, so I've got 2 crossbow divisions to counter them, right? This 1st division over here, this 2nd division over here, and we're going to start moving them back in squares right away. It's clear that they're going to be zerged by the enemy cav. I mean, the enemy has over 300. In fact, the enemy has almost more cav than we do total troops on the battlefield right now. And a huge vanguard to boot. Alright, so we're doing some damage at range here. 4th, 5th, and 6th. We're going to start to square the infantry units and move them back. The archers start to get spread out in a big arch. Both the 1st and the 2nd I'm going to square here. Those guys I squared late, they're definitely going to suffer some consequences from that. Sometimes you as a commander don't do a good job. Now, I had not anticipated the enemy pushing this far into our units here. This is not great because it means we're going to be getting interrupted. We're going to be getting skewered. I was hoping I could repel the enemy and push them away, but I think they have so much cav that they're very eager to charge into our midst here. So we're going to continue to kite. We're doing that to buy a little bit of space between us and the infantry that's coming up. But also, we're getting kills while we kite, right? You see the arrows running in. What I'm typically doing is moving 2 archer divisions while 1 is standing still. And what that does, of course, is it means that while these guys are chasing one of our archer divisions, they're getting shot, right? It's not a free attack for the enemy. Now, this is interesting. The enemy went right by one of our squares. This square is over here, just kind of curling off to the enemy's left, over here by the 6th Corps. If they ignore that square, and they really are ignoring it, fine. That's fine with us. This is the advantage of them, right? We spread them, they're immediately told to fire, and now they're shooting the enemy in the back, right? That's their mistake. You don't want to attack our guys when you got the chance. We will surround you. That's actually advantage us. Now, the other square, it looks like the enemy's just wading right through it and kind of ignoring it, probably because they're assessing our other archers as a greater threat, right? They're not taking the bait of 40 guys in a square. That's the thing, though. Either way, look at these archers just raking them in the back. If they don't attack the square, then you just spread your square. The archers just fire away, and you shoot the enemy in the back. Right? The enemy's now allowed themselves to be surrounded. They practically surrounded themselves. We built a circle, and they walked right into the middle of it. All right, so it's messy here early on. It's because they have so much cav, right? In the early stages here, I'm prioritizing cav because once we can destroy their cav, their infantry has no chance. As long as these heavy horse, and these are strong heavy horse, right? This is fucking elite Patanian horsemen. Admittedly, that's kind of an oxymoron, but it's also Imperial elite cataphracts and whatnot. I've got to handle these guys early on. Now, I don't have my lethal axe and polearm for this series. I'm trying not to overpower the battlefield in this series, but I still want to swing my weapon. So I have a hammer that I'm just going to be kind of knocking the enemy around with. It's nice and long, it's got pretty good speed, and it'll kill some guys, but it's mostly just so that I have something to do here in between tactical maneuvering. One of those guys that on the battlefield, it's hard for me to sit still, right? My brain is whirring away. It's just this little computer trying to figure out each little next step, and it's hard for me to just sit still. All right, again, we're going to continue to spread the 6th behind the enemy here. The 5th seems to be garnering the most amount of attention from the enemy. That might be because it's in the center here. The enemy continues to bore through the center of our forces pretty hard. You can see the conundrum the enemy cav is in. If they charge and they put up their shield with me, then they can't attack. They get shot. If they attack me, then they get shot, right? It's really a bad situation for them. And the cav is really starting to be decimated right there. It's almost all green death spam. Our archers continue to kite back. Their infantry is now fully surrounded by our troops. We have the 2nd cav, or 2nd crossbow. Where are they at there? Okay, they're starting to get swallowed up. Let's square those guys up, right? Anytime the enemy's close to these crossbow divisions, I just square them. And they're not going to be impervious, but they're going to have great survivability. Meanwhile, the 6th archers are over here completely broadsiding this enemy. Look at this noble. Let's give this noble a fucking little bow shot here. Have a catch one right in the fucking ball sack there, aided. All right. So it looks like the enemy's regrouping here. That probably means they have reinforcements. But I want to kill this enemy vanguard, right? This vanguard of I can't tell how many infantry, it's not telling me, but this looks like it's about 150 guys still. We're going to start to surround them and actually attack them in a combination of melee and arrows. I want a little bit of ammunition for the next stage or two of this battle, so I'm actually calling in units the same way I would for a kill box, and we're going to have these guys attack in melee. Now, one archer division shooting still is fine, but these guys here, let's get them in a shield wall and let's have them charge. That'll pin the enemy down. They're being shot from behind. Look at the death span, right? It's clearly working. And now we'll have the 6th charge as well. Anybody who's out of ammo, crossbow divisions and whatnot, they get to charge. The enemy got 1 kill. Maybe they'll get 3, 2, 3. There's 2, 3, 4. They got more than I expected, but we just killed, 100 of their troops, and maybe we suffered 8 to 10 losses. I see what's going on here. The enemy got an infantry wave of reinforcements right behind us. So we're pulling the 6th back aggressively here under a hail of fucking javelins. It's a precarious spot that they've put us in. We'll get reinforcements at some point, and that's obviously going to swing the battle back into our favor. Not that it was ever really in the enemy's favor there. It's not like we're running for our lives here. We're just kiting. Okay, I got reinforcements. The 5th right there. Let's divide this shit. Let's move the 5th into the 1st. Actually, that's fine there. These 1st divisions can be right on that hill. It's actually a good spot for them. We'll spread the 5th out in a big, long arch. We still have the 6th and 4th here that we can start using to move in on the enemy. And the enemy's starting to move laterally. I'm not sure if they're regrouping or routing. Of course, it's been a beatdown, so the enemy, I guess they could be routing this early. This would be really early for them to route, but that could be a thing. Right? They're running sideways here. I'm watching this cav very closely, because if they attack this archer division, I'll square them and I'll stand right with them here, and we'll try to repel this huge amount of heavy horse. If they don't turn on us, though, we're going to have these guys on the ridge. It's totally strafing the enemy as they try to regroup here. You can see the death spam. These guys are just firing away. And these archers, or this cav unit, doesn't seem interested in attacking. I don't know if they're routing. Whatever the case, we'll take advantage of it. We'll bring some more archers in. This feels like the enemy's routing. They're all running sideways. This is not a normal enemy behavior here. And I think most of these guys, it's actually like a real good simulation of real life. If you just watched your army get torn apart like this, you would hold your shield up and run. You would run for the nearest exit. And I think that's what's happening here. I think this battle's over. They're under immolating fire. I'm running through here, just horse archer sniping half their army. They don't get any kills, right? They're all just running for their lives. It wouldn't matter. Of course, if they turn on us, we're just going to kite and do more devastating, horrific shit to them, give them nightmares. But at this stage, this battle's over. Shoot some more right in the face here. We can work on our sniping skills. I definitely need a lot of work on it, but I think by the end of this series, I'm going to be pretty lethal. These motherfuckers throwing javelins at me. All right, get up here. Let's charge these insolent fucks. They don't want to leave the battlefield. Fuck it. Let's just send everybody. Charge. Fuck you guys. This battle's over. I just looked up again at the power bar, and they have like a quarter or a third of their troops left. It looks like there's a stubborn infantry division here trying to hold out. So we'll dispatch this. There's some guys routing on top of the hill over there, but this battle's over. All right, so more upgrades from this battle. And this is 2 obviously highly successful battles here in the series. And this was a powerful force. There's some infantry charging here, but it's 10 suicidal guys here. They're fighting Japanese style, down to the last man, right? You gotta respect it when people fight like that. All right. So this battle's over. This series, I'm going to essentially be trying different things, trying different difficulties, trying different scenarios, trying different enemies, right? We are going to obviously push the bar on what's possible with an archer army. We're going to try some different things. We're going to try some dynamic tactics. And the purpose of this is not to give you strategy how to win with an all-archer army. That's not practical. What I'm hoping this series does, though, is open people's eyes to the different variety of tactics. Look at, they're just running as fast as they can off the battlefield. I'm hoping it opens people's eyes to the different things you can do with archers, especially, and I want to say this and emphasize this, especially crossbow units. Everybody loves Battanian Fiend Champs, and for good reason. You might like your Khazate Marksman or whatever it is. The Tier 5 archers of all the different different kingdoms are really good, but there's nothing quite like the versatility of crossbow units. So we'll be playing with them in the series. Of course, they're added value to us in this series because they hold up shields. We don't have anybody else with shields. We don't have any cavalry, right? So this is going to be an unusual series. Let me know what you think of this series, of course. I would love feedback. If this series is really popular, maybe I will do... I don't know if I'll ever do a whole campaign, but maybe I will do 10, 15, 20 episodes. Let me know what you guys think, fellas. We'll recruit some prisoners here, as usual. Guys like to see the loot. We'll run through this process real quick. And look at this jackpot, right? This army had 190 prisoners, so we're gonna take all their interesting archers. This is beautiful. We can divide it by type. Look at this. This is the mother lode for us. I was just saying we want more shield crossbowmen, and this army, ask and you shall receiveth, right? Like, this is, I know that's not I know that's not a quote. That's just that's tactical enlightenment quote here. All right, so we're gonna collect a bunch of these free archers here, distribute them to our other troops. We don't want their heavy horse, no thanks. Those guys are garbage anyways. Watch the channel. You know, everybody here knows that elite cataphract is garbage compared to a sharpshooter. See if there's any loot here. And then we're going to look for the next challenge here on Tactical Enlightenment, right? We're going to continue to push the envelope. I know I've said that 9 times. I won't say that anymore. Like I said, though, if you want to see a certain scenario with an all-archer army, if you have any questions, if you're curious about something, let me know, fellas. I appreciate you guys. Please like and subscribe. All that stuff's good for the channel. And I will talk to you, friends, next time.